I have a dream that my poor little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Good morning. In one of his first landmark speeches during the Civil Rights Movement, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "We are here because of our love of democracy, because of our deep-seated belief that democracy transformed from thin paper to thick action is the greatest form of government on earth. If we were incarcerated behind iron curtains of communist nations, we couldn't do this. If we were dropped in the dungeons of totalitarian regime, we couldn't do this." This is the core problem of the Middle East. My region, a region that is infested with dictatorship and military regimes, like Latin America and Eastern Europe during the Cold War, the lack of democracy is the main reason for violence. Communism and populism of the 20th century are the Islamic extremism of the 21st century. In the same way that communism promised equality and harmony, but delivered despotism and poverty, the Islamic extremism of Al-Qaeda, Hamas, and Hezbollah promises glory and honor, but delivers only death and destruction. The peaceful tenets of Islam as a monotheistic religion are overshadowed by the extreme and violent terrorist, and the moderate Muslim voice of 1 billion people is hijacked. This is the wilderness that Dr. King spoke about when he said, "The story of Exodus, the story of the flight of the Hebrew people from the bondage of Egypt through the wilderness and finally to the promised land, is a beautiful story. This is something of a story of every people struggling for freedom." We in Israel know that the people of the Middle East are no different from any other people in their love for freedom. However, they need to understand that extreme terrorist groups are the pharaohs of today, and they need to break free from the bondage of their domination. Three great leaders of the 20th century proved the hollowness of the terrorist claim. The first one was Mahatma Gandhi, the Indian who led the subcontinent to independence and inspire countless true freedom fighters yet to come. Gandhi wrote in his autobiography, "He who be a friend of God must be alone or make humanity his friend." In his quest for India's freedoms, Gandhi shunned violence and engaged Hindus and Muslims, Christians and Jews alike. Gandhi lived a portion of his life in South Africa, where he came to inspire a Nelson Mandela. Despite the hardships of abuse and imprisonment, Mandela embraced nonviolence and destroyed the racist system of apartheid. The future president of his country showed that the choice of forgiveness and moderation are far better tools for achieving equality than vengeance and extremism. A portrait of Gandhi also hangs in the office of a young Atlanta preacher working for racial equality. Someone who believed that God is not interested merely in the freedom of black men, brown men, and yellow men. God is interested in the freedom of the whole human race. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. understood that violence can contaminate a society for generations, and that in opposition groups must struggle to build one common nation. Gandhi and his disciples do not show an alternative path to equality and freedom from the one espoused by terrorism. They show the only path. In our effort to promote peace and reconciliation, we would like to remind our Palestinian and Arab neighbors of Dr. King's words when he said that we've got to revolt in such a way that after revolt is over, we can live with people as their brothers and sisters. That's why dialogue must replace Qassam rockets, and education to celebrate life must replace suicide bombings. As we celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, let's make the well-being of all God's creatures the only political ideology. Our vision of the future is one that includes two independent states, Israel and Palestine, living side by side with peace. We are confident that when we open the way to reconciliation and coexistence, the land of milk and honey will become one of the best places on earth to live. The Promised Land is a place that we, the people, Israelis and Palestinians, can create right here, right now. Let me end with the words of Dr. King when he said, "Each of us must keep faith in the future. Let us not despair. Let us realize that as we struggle for justice and freedom, we have a cosmic companionship. This is the long faith of the Hebrew Christian tradition." God bless you. God bless America and its newly elected presidents. And God bless the Israeli-American alliance and friendship. Thank you.